Get ready, monster truck fans! Today we're diving into the story of one of the most unique and beloved trucks in Monster Jam history. This is the tale of a truck that transformed from a warrior into a legend. This is the story of Brutus. Picture this. It's the year 2000, Columbus, Michigan. A man named Kraig Bergeron had a dream. He wanted to create something special, something different. And alongside his friend Jim Kohler, Chris built his first monster truck. But this wasn't just any truck. This was Brutus. The original Brutus was an orange Chevrolet S10 pickup truck, featuring a fierce Greek warrior on the hood, Marcus Junius Brutus, the legendary Roman assassin. The truck debuted in 2001 at a Truxpo event in Kansas City, and Kraig Bergeron was ready to take on the world. In 2002, Brutus had a unique moment in monster truck history. At the first show in Pontiac, the wheel came off as the truck pulled out of its parking stall. Can you believe that? This is the only known time this has ever happened in the truck's history. But that minor hiccup didn't stop Chris and Brutus. Now here's where the story gets really interesting. As Chris competed with Brutus across the country, fans kept coming up to him saying the same thing over and over. "I have a dog named Brutus. My dog is called Brutus. Brutus is my pet's name." And Chris thought, wait a minute, what if Brutus wasn't a warrior? What if Brutus was a dog? So in 2003, Chris had a vision. He reached out to Jason Becker, an incredibly talented artist from Master of Faster Graphics, the same guy who would later design Megabyte and Spike. Jason did some sketches, and together they created something nobody had ever seen before in monster truck history. 2004, the transformation was complete. Brutus emerged with an all-new three-dimensional custom dog body. Not just painted on, we're talking full 3DEE molded fiberglass. A massive, menacing, aggressive dog head mounted on that Chevrolet S10 chassis. Brown and black fur, sharp teeth, intense eyes, and a spiked collar that screamed attitude. The fans' response? Incredible. Amazing. People went absolutely crazy for this design. Kids loved it. Adults loved it. Brutus became an instant fan favorite. Now let's talk about what made this beast bark. Under that incredible custom dog body was pure power. We're talking about a blown 575 cubic inch Chevrolet big block engine. This monster generated 1,800 horsepower. Imagine that raw power. The truck runs on a custom-built Race Source chassis, one of the best in the business. A Cohen/Buick Powerglide transmission, sending all that power to custom fabrication Rockwell F106 axles. The truck sits on massive 66-inch Goodyear Terra tires, later switched to BKT tires, mounted on Alan Pezo racing wheels. Brutus measures 12 feet wide and 10 feet tall, weighing in at 9,500 pounds. The wheelbase is 138 inches. 26-inch nitrogen-charged Stage 2 shocks on both front and rear, and a Profab quick-change transfer case to handle all that insane power. This truck was built to compete. 2005. The big moment arrived. Brutus and Kraig Bergeron were invited to compete at Monster Jam World Finals 6. This was the dream, the biggest stage in monster truck racing. Steve Kohler even drove the truck in Indianapolis during the season. At World Finals, they were eliminated in round 2 of racing by Jimmy Cretin in Bounty Hunter. They finished 14th in freestyle. Not the result they wanted, but they were there. They made it. 2006, World Finals 7. But disaster struck. Not only were they eliminated in round 1 by the legendary Tom Meents in Maximum Destruction, but they finished second to last in freestyle because Hot Wheels didn't come out to compete. Tough break. 2007. World Finals again. Third time's the charm? Well, Chris defeated his teammate Jim Kohler in Avenger in round 1. Yes! But then eliminated again by Tom Meents in Maximum Destruction in round 2. They finished 19th in freestyle. Tom Meents was becoming Chris's nemesis. 2009. This was it. This was Chris Bergeron's best World Finals performance ever. World Finals 10. Brutus was on fire. They made it all the way to round 3 of racing. The crowd was going wild. But once again, Tom Meents in Maximum Destruction ended their run. But wait, the freestyle competition. Chris was the first truck out for freestyle. No pressure, right? Wrong. Chris Bergeron laid down an incredible freestyle run. The judges went crazy. The scores came in 29 points. Brutus finished 3rd place in freestyle out of 24 trucks. 3rd place. This was legendary. 2010. Although not competing, Brutus appeared at World Finals as Wrecking Crew during the encore performances. Chris did some insane Cyclone Donuts. The truck was also featured in the Monster Jam Path of Destruction video game. And Chris won racing at the back-to-school Monster Truck Bash in Charlotte. 2011. World Finals. 12. Brutus unveiled a brand new paint scheme. Darker brown fur, an orange collar, bloodshot eyes, and excessive saliva drooling from the mouth. This dog looked mean. But unfortunately, disaster struck. Chris crashed in the first round of racing against Damon Bradshaw in U.S. Air Force Afterburner. Then, during freestyle, Chris hit the backflip ramp hard, not realizing it wasn't meant to drive through. The truck made only half a rotation before slamming onto its roof. It was a violent crash. Chris was okay, but they finished 18th in freestyle. Later, Chris revealed he wasn't even attempting a backflip. He thought he could drive through the ramp like the old-style ramps from the 2000s. You can even see him braking in the air. 2012. World Finals. 13. Chris and Brutus returned. Despite being eliminated in round 1 by Mark McDonald in El Toro Loco, they laid down a consistent freestyle run and finished 9th. This would be their final World Finals appearance together. At Dixie Speedway in Georgia, Chris won all competitions. What a way to go out! 2013. This marked the end of an era. Chris Bergeron retired from driving Brutus towards the end of the season. After over a decade behind the wheel, Chris passed the torch. The truck was shelved as the chassis was converted into its sister truck, Megabyte. 2014 and 15. Brad Allen began driving Brutus in select shows. The legend was being kept alive by a new generation. 2016. Brutus was back full-time. Brad Allen returned with Brutus, competing in the Fox Sports 1 Championship Series. They even won the donut competition at the Anaheim show. The dog was back. 2017. Brutus competed on FS1 Championship Series East, running under several different identities. The Rod Ryan Show in Houston, Joey Strong in Detroit, Mike Thompson drove the truck in Fisherville and Quarryville. This truck was everywhere. 2018. Brutus competed in Monster Jam Stadium Championship Series 1 as Monster Mutt Rottweiler, teaming up with Avenger. Brad and Brutus were invited to the Double Down Showdown at World Finals 19. 2019. The truck ran as El Toro Loco for Stadium Championship Series 1. Brian Van Kirk drove the truck for select independent shows after the first quarter. 2020. Back to Monster Mutt Rottweiler, competing in Stadium Championship Series Red. But then, COVID-19 hit, and the series ended abruptly in March. Brad Allen continued driving until his departure from Team Scream. He would later join TK Motorsports to drive Nitro Menace. Rookie driver Kraig Champion took over the reins, and the truck transferred to Axe's previous chassis as Chris Kohler used the original chassis for his truck. 2021. Champion drove Brutus in select Monster Jam events, including San Antonio and Grand Rapids, keeping the legacy alive. 2022. This was Kraig Champion's year. Brutus ran as El Toro Loco on Monster Jam Stadium Championship Series Yellow, and Kraig put on a show. He improved dramatically throughout the season with successful skills and freestyle runs. The most famous moment? San Diego. During the skills challenge, Kraig unexpectedly attempted a front flip. Nobody saw it coming. The attempt was unsuccessful, but Kraig pulled off a double barrel roll save. The crowd went insane. Unfortunately, the truck sustained damage and couldn't freestyle. But that incredible moment earned Kraig the Crash Madness of the Year award at World Finals. He finished 10th in the points standings. What an achievement! 2023. Transformation time. Brutus received a brand new chassis and returned as Monster Mutt, driven by Chris Kohler on Stadium Series Blue. John Kohler made his debut in Goodell's, Michigan. Joe Foley won both skills and freestyle in Lindsay, Ontario. The truck ran as The Rod Ryan Show in Houston and competed as Monster Mutt on Team Neon for the Superstar Challenge in Anaheim. 2024. Continued success. Chris Kohler won his first ever overall event and freestyle at Show 2 in El Paso. He finished 7th in the final standings. Chris was invited to the Last Chance qualifying event at World Finals. The truck won freestyle in Nashville. The Northern Nightmare body even made a return in Detroit. 2025. Major changes. The chassis becomes the main Mayhem chassis. John Kohler took over full-time driving duties while Chris runs Mayhem. Tyler Davidson joined for summer shows. John completed his first backflip in Evansville, Indiana. Joe Foley drove in Woodstock, Georgia. And now, in 2026, the truck competes on the East Stadium Tour in Monster Jam as Mayhem, continuing the incredible legacy. So there you have it, folks. The incredible story of Brutus. From a Roman warrior to becoming one of the most iconic and beloved three-dimensional custom bodies in Monster Jam history. This truck has seen it all. Multiple drivers, multiple identities, 6 World Finals appearances, a third-place freestyle finish, Crash Madness of the Year, championship wins, and over 2 decades of competition. But Brutus is more than just a truck. It's a testament to creativity, to innovation, to never giving up. Chris Bergeron had a vision when fans told him, "I have a dog named Brutus," and he created something that changed monster truck design forever. From Chris Bergeron's legendary 12-year run, to Brad Allen keeping the dream alive, to Kraig Champion's unforgettable moments, to Chris and John Kohler carrying the torch into the modern era. Brutus represents the heart of independent monster truck racing. That custom 3-dimensional dog body designed by Jason Becker, it became iconic. It inspired other creative designs. It showed that monster trucks could be more than just painted bodies. They could be sculptures, works of art. Every time that blown 575 cubic inch big block roars to life, every time those 66-inch tires spin up, Every time 1,800 horsepower launches that 9,500-pound beast into the air, magic happens. Brutus reminds us that creativity and passion can create legends. So the next time you see that fierce doghead rolling into the arena, whether it's running as Brutus, Monster Mutt, or Mayhem, remember the story. Remember Chris Bergeron's dream. Remember all the drivers who've piloted this beast. Remember the fans who inspired the transformation. Remember that this is what monster truck passion looks like. Brutus, from warrior to dog, from concept to legend. Absolutely unforgettable. Thank you for joining me on this incredible journey through over 2 decades of Brutus history. This truck has brought joy to millions of fans worldwide. If you love monster trucks as much as I do, make sure you smash that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and join us for more amazing monster truck stories. What's your favorite Brutus moment? Was it the 2009 third-place freestyle finish? Chris Bergeron's legendary runs? Kraig Champion's front flip attempt? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, keep those engines roaring and those dreams alive. Long live the legacy of Brutus. Thank you for watching.